Hey, welcome everyone. I'm Chris Pradle. I'm Executive Director of Community Homeworks. We are so excited to show you the results and our winners of this year's Homes for the Holidays Gingerbread House Contest. In a few minutes here, you're going to actually get to see some of the Hallmark entries that we had this year that were just spectacular. And we really want to make sure that we honor those individuals as well. Before we get started here, I want to take a moment to honor the people who made this year's event possible, our sponsors, who jointly helped us raise $20,000, over $20,000 this year for households that we serve, especially this time of year. We serve households that are in no heat situations. And so we are so grateful for their generosity and support to sponsor our event. So we really want to thank Advia Credit Union, who was our presenting title sponsor this year. Also want to thank, we had some spectacular supporting sponsors, Helios Solar, Temperature Pro, WMUK, and TraStar. We also had some building sponsors. We had 3 of those this year: Mercantile Bank, Elkins Family Foundation, and First National Bank of Michigan. And last but not least, we actually had some people who supported us as kit sponsors. And these kit sponsors provided funding so that we could provide free kits and supplies to kids who maybe otherwise wouldn't be able to afford one this year. And so we made sure that families and kiddos who wanted to participate had that opportunity. So we really want to thank those sponsors that you see there on the screen as well. So last but not least, we had 5 celebrity judges that volunteered their time as a panel of judges. We had Mayor Anderson, David Anderson from the city of Kalamazoo, Jamari Bogan, who's one of our board members, but also CEO of Bogan Development, Heather Holmer, who's one of the owners of Rocket Fizz, Clarence Lloyd, who is from the Kalamazoo Chamber, and of course, the iconic Judy Sarkozy from Sarkozy's Bakery. So we really want to thank those individuals. They spent an entire morning downtown Kalamazoo in the cold, visiting all 21 sites across downtown, and had individual score sheets ranking different categories for every single one of those entries, and really took it seriously. They were so much fun to be around downtown with, and so we definitely want to thank them as well. And then we also want to thank the Kalamazoo community who showed up downtown. We had 1,142 people who came downtown and voted for their favorite entry. Each person was allowed 1 vote per email, and they only had from December 3rd through 9th to do that. And we were really pleased with the turnout, and we were really glad that it was an opportunity to support our downtown businesses this time of year as well by displaying our entries in their windows. And so we also wanted to take a second here to thank all the host site locations downtown who opened up space in their location to make sure that we could display an entry. And so you'll see that list of people there as well. And some of the locations actually offered us the opportunity to host multiple entries in their window as well. So next up, we will share the results of our People's Choice Award category. Each award recipient who wins a category, we have a special trophy made for this year, and we'll make sure that the winner receives this and hopefully can display this somewhere with pride at their location. But we also wanted to, before we announce the actual winner of the People's Choice, we wanted to make sure to take a moment to give honorable mention to some of the people who still placed really, really well in votes. And so one that was particularly impressive and fun to see was Barbie's Dream House, which was created by MRC Artworks, which was downtown. They came in 4th place with votes. In 3rd place, we had Henderson Castle, which was created by Brendan Mendoza and his team at the Morning Dish, which is in the Radisson. We also, in 2nd place, for the People's Choice category, folks chose the Kalamazoo Building entry, which was created by Mika Phillips from Dessert First and Rob Peterson from Dover Birch. That entry appeared in the old V&A Bouderie window. And our 2023 People's Choice winner, which had 258 of those 1,142 votes, which was 23% of all the votes cast by the public, was the Advia Credit Union headquarters, created by Advia's credit union staff. So we want to congratulate Advia Credit Union's team who worked tirelessly on this entry. I'm sure it took them days to do. You look at these images and you see as much detail they put on the interior as you could on the exterior. you see that the side walls are just basically one piece, and how they created these beautiful windows, and somehow they miraculously transported it downtown without cracking these beautiful candy glass windows. The detail into this large structure, which was in the Epic Center during the contest, is spectacular. And so we thank them. We were just grateful enough for their support this year, but they took it one step higher and really spent a lot of time with their team putting together this entry. So congratulations on winning our People's Choice Award, and we will make sure that we get this to their team as well. So then next up, we have our Judge's Choice entry. And our Judge's Choice entry, this is our 2023 Gingerbread House Masterpiece. This is what our judges consider the best entry of 2023. And again, they evaluated every single entry, had a sheet for every single entry, and viewed each one downtown for an entire morning. So they scored each on a criteria from 1 to 10. Then we tabulated each of the scores, and the winner was ultimately the one with the highest ranked score out of all the entries. The judges not only selected the Judge's Choice one, but they also selected the iconic structure. So we'll get to that in a moment as well. But what we're going to honor and recognize is the entry from KVCC's Culinary School and their baking lab. And it's led by Chef Tania Waters. This entry was displayed at Gazelle Sports, if you saw it downtown on the Kalamazoo Mall. So we're joined by KVCC culinary instructor Chef Tania Waters, who is joined by 2 culinary students who were part of the creation itself. Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great.
Doing great. Congratulations. This is so exciting. You guys did an incredible job. It was a beautiful, beautiful entry. And we were just talking about this before we came on, about how fun it was to see people standing and just kind of oohing and awing at all the different special features in there as well. Chef Tania, who do you have here with you today?
This is Natalie and Carter. These are 2 of my 8 students that worked on this. There was 8 students and I that created this.
All right, awesome. Nice to see you, Natalie and Carter. Congratulations to you and your team. Please send our regards to the rest of your cohort who worked on this very hard. Can you take a moment and just kind of share a little bit about the entry and the theme you prepared?
Well, one of the things on the letter you sent was we were supposed to think outside the box is what is preferred. Well, what's more outside the box than a circle? So, and because gnomes are a big thing, mushrooms are a big thing right now, I asked the class, what do you think about doing a gnome house, and that he's baking in it? And they were just all for it. They thought it was a great idea.
It's incredible. I mean, if you had a chance to view it, and you can see fairly well from the pictures, but the pictures just don't do it justice. But you had a starry night on the ceiling on the interior that you could see, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then the detail, you could see the little figure inside who was baking, I believe. You could even see like a rolling pin on the counter, I believe. Just the level of detail you all put into it was just incredible. Can you talk about some of the different elements you used or in the creation, like different of the ingredients and edible building materials you used?
Everything in it, everything on it was edible except for the wires that were in the fennel head ferns. That is the only thing that was not edible. Everything else was completely edible on that board. It was completely edible.
Wow, that's incredible.
We had probably between 90 and 95% all gingerbread. The entry was a gingerbread house, so we made as much as we could. Natalie made the oven.
Oh, cool.
And we put a light in it so that it looked like that it was actually going. Couple other students made the mixer. There was a little KitchenAid mixer in there, you'll see, along with the rolling pin. Yep. The table, the shelf. We did use some fondant. The mushrooms, little mushrooms were fondant, but the big mushroom was gingerbread. The roots were gingerbread. I mean, there was more gingerbread than anything on it, and we glued it all together with isomalt.
Oh my God!
What we glued it together with.
Isomalt.
And then the isomalt. It's a derivative of sugar. It's what they make diabetic sugar-free candies and that with. Okay. So it's completely edible. Okay. And then we had the roof was made with a bowl, with one of our big mixing bowls. Okay. And that's what we molded it over and baked it on that mixing bowl to get that dome look.
Wow.
And then the green on it was mug cake. It's just
microwave mug cake.
Microwave mug cake. We put it in little coffee mugs and you mix it up and throw it in there and microwave it for a few minutes, and it just poofs up and turns into an edible moss.
Wow.
And then I attached it all with isomalt.
That definitely was like the number one thing I heard people asking about was like, what is this moss made out of? They were very curious. And so
yeah, it's edible. It's a cake.
Yeah,
it's a microwave cake is what it is.
You have cleared up the mystery. So
4 ingredients is all it is, and throw it in the microwave and you have an instant cake.
That's very cool. Very, very well done. So you mentioned you had 8 people total involved in the project.
Yes.
How long did it take you to do this? I mean, how long was this project together?
We did it over a span of 3 weeks when we got the notification to make it. And we have our normal class and their schedule that we have to follow, as well as we do production on Mondays and Tuesdays. We bake for everything downstairs, the cookies, the breads, everything for the restaurant and the cafe. And we picked one day a week that we worked on it. And then Christmas or Thanksgiving break that week, we worked on it for those 2 days exclusively. And we've got what I calculated 35 plus hours that we managed to get in on 3 weeks to get it done.
That's incredible.
And get it put together and delivered.
Wow. That is incredible. How do you, when you work on a project like that, where you have 8 different people working towards like one visual goal, how do you do that? How do you manage that together and not step on each other's toes and, kind of make sure that you're all like kind of beating to the same drum, if you will?
I put a list of everything that I thought we should have, especially in the inside, because I really wanted the inside to be more than just a house. I wanted you to see it functioning. So I put a list of everything that we should have in there, and they literally picked who was going to make what and put their name on it and said, I'm making this. And that's what they made. And each one of them had a different role, and they worked on it specifically for them. And then at the very end, everybody kicked in and was painting different things, grinding up gingerbread. All of our dirt was ground up gingerbread.
Wow.
And they had to grind that all up, which was extremely noisy. And we used that, and as well as we used desiccated coconut for the snow on the ground. And then just rubbing it in so it looked like dirt and made it look more realistic. So everybody picked what they wanted to make, and it just worked perfectly because everybody just had their own little niche.
That's awesome. Yeah, super well done. So I can see your backdrop there. It looks like It may be very well the baking lab where it was created. Can you tell us a little bit about the program and just, like the space where it was created?
The culinary program is amazing here, as well as they have a dessert and a baking certificate that you can also get. You don't have to get just the full culinary associates. And this baking lab is state of the art. It has, top-notch equipment in it. It's just phenomenal to be in here. And you see the space we have. It's huge in here. These tables behind us are huge.
Yeah.
And the students can use everything that's new in the industry. They can learn all techniques. They can better their skills of what they may already know. Some don't even know when they come in. And to know that the students that created this were my fundamentals class. This is their first walk into a bake shop for most of them. So it was phenomenal to see what they could do when they were given the opportunity to bring out their creativity. It was great.
Well, now the community knows what you know, which is you guys are definitely the best of the best for sure. So
that's awesome. We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it with pride.
Yeah. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to share at all? Natalie, Carter, anything you wanted to share at all about your experience?
Go ahead, Natalie.
We did step on each other's toes a little bit, but I feel like it was a great learning experience. None of us have ever done a big project like that, especially construction project like that. So it was good, the social leadership side of it.
That's awesome.
Working together.
That's awesome.
It turned out good.
Yeah, definitely. Carter, do you have
I was shocked.
Yeah, no, I think it's incredible. Carter, how was your experience? Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. It was definitely outside of the normal, and I'm coming back next year to help with the next one.
Awesome.
And, I love this bake shop, and I'm just glad we got to step outside of the regular production side of baking.
Yeah, it's not every day you get to display your hard work out in public and, have thousands of people pass it by and, see your hard work. So congratulations.
And I told the students when we started this that don't go in into this expecting to win it. Go into it having fun, enjoy the process, enjoy it for the first time you've ever done something like this. Let's just have fun with it for something outside the box. And a lot of it was because we only had 3 weeks. So I'm not one to dampen someone's expectation. But at the same time, I mean, when we walked down there, I'm like, well, I just didn't want them to get their hopes up and then it be like, oh, we didn't win. It was, if you go into it and you have fun doing it and you enjoy it, so much more creativity comes out, and you can tell when it comes to the final end how much was put into it, and everybody enjoyed it. They weren't under the pressure of, we got to win, So I think that had a lot to do with it as well.
Definitely. That's the goal. We want people to have fun and the community to have fun doing this as well each year.
Fun. It was definitely fun.
Good. Well, we'll make sure.
I only created the little gnome on the inside. I made him out of fondant. I created him, and I put all of the bark, glued all the bark onto the big circle we made. That's all I did. The rest of it was completely done by the students, and I just assembled it all. I put it together, and I had them do this or that, and I completely erected it. But they created the entire thing.
That's amazing.
Was all the students.
That's amazing. Hats off to you. I know now next year people know they really have some stiff competition. So from the sounds of it, we'll have you back next year for sure. Maybe a couple more of them too. So,
and a shout out to the other students. So if they see it, we had Maddie, Xavier, Quinn, Raven,
and
Nick, and we're missing somebody else.
And that's it.
Oh, there's 8 of you. Isn't that bad? We've only been out of school for a class ended, semester ended a week ago, and I can't even remember all the students who are in the class.
No worries.
Oh, and Justin. Justin. I knew we were missing one.
Good.
How can we forget Justin?
Yeah.
But yeah, they were the others that were involved in this. So
Perfect.
there was a team of 8 students and I that did it.
Perfect.
So you got to definitely give a shout out to them.
Awesome. Well, definitely hats off to y'all. Would love to get a picture back from y'all with the trophy in the lab once we get a chance to deliver it to you. And we'll definitely hang it up in our office or something as well. So thank you so much for being here on your break. And thanks again for your entry.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to next year.
Yep. All right. Thanks, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, thank you to Chef Tania Waters and her team for putting that together. Congratulations again. It was fun to kind of hear from them, from their process and how they worked to put that together. So our next category is our iconic structure. And this was also chosen by our 5 celebrity judges. They spent a little time together after they went around and viewed all 21 sites. And we wanted to take a moment just to share, again, some honorable mentions, because there were actually quite a few iconic structure entries this year, and most of them were quite spectacular. And so we wanted to share a few of those with you here. So one of them was Pop City Popcorn, created the Ladies Library Association and a recreation of that. And it's a beautiful structure, and it was fun to see how they put that together as well and was displayed in their window. Another one created by the Morning Dish at the Radisson, they recreated Henderson Castle. And this was displayed in the lobby of the Radisson during the period of the contest. Incredible entry, and the attention to detail, the lights, the windows, the roof, everything was just spot on. It was very cool. We want to thank them for doing that as well. We want to thank the Campus Activities Board at Western Michigan University. We had them create the new WMU Student Center, and it was neat. They used wafers on the side as the fins around the building. And if you look really closely, they had kind of a snowy scene at the base of the building where they had gummy bears rolling down the hills, going down sleds. And so that was a lot of fun as well. And then WMU's Office of Government Relations and Community Partnership created something a little bit different, but it was really a special entry. It was an aerial view of WMU's campus. You can see they created Waldo Stadium. They have Goldsworth Pond with the bridge over it. And the level of detail that they put into that and the teamwork they put into that was quite impressive as well. So those were just a few that we wanted to give some honorable mention to as well, that the judges definitely were impressed with, spent some time talking about. However, our judges had one that definitely rose to the top. They selected the edible recreation of the Kalamazoo building. It was built by Mika Phillips from Dessert First and with help from Rob Peterson from Dover Birch. This one was displayed at the old V&A Bouderie windows. And the level of accuracy and detail in this entry had definite wow factor. You look at this entry, they had the very similar looking building with signage of the Kalamazoo building, even to the level of detail that if you look at the lower level of the building, they had the reflection of what was across the street in the windows they created. They had the little signage outside the door, kind of almost at a microscopic level. They had lampposts around it that were lit. We were incredibly impressed with this entry. I know our judges were, and so we want to congratulate them. They are the recipient of this year's Iconic Structures Trophy. So we want to congratulate Mika and Rob for their entry and thank them for all the time that they put in that together. We also have a short little video of them putting it together that we want to take a moment to show you as well. Again, a very impressive entry. That video they posted themselves to a YouTube page, and we wanted to take a moment just to kind of share that because we thought it was a great evidence of how detailed that was, and then how much work went into it as well. That was just a little snippet. If you can imagine hours of work that went into that entry. It was also an entry that was fun to look at night because it lit up. The windows were transparent. They had lighting on the inside. And then they had the little light posts around it as well that lit up at night. So, hey, hats off to Rob and Mika for their work on that. And thank you again for all your work in making that entry possible for this year. And we're going to move on to our last category, our kids 14 and under category. We had some really creative kiddos submit some entries. We had elementary school classes. We had church groups. We had just people at home with their families and kiddos working with their parents. We really want to thank them for all their entries. We saw a lot of really fun, cool entries with that this year. But there was one that our selection committee chose for a couple factors that they thought was really special. They were impressed with the entries forethought that went into it about a theme around it. And they were also really impressed that they used non-traditional building materials that were edible. So, notice on their entry, they used things like mini Reese's peanut butter cups. They used Hershey Kisses in kind of unique ways. They also used things like pointy ice cream cones in the entry to kind of create their creation as well. So we want to congratulate the Trinity Lutheran Church confirmation class of middle schoolers who put together this year's kids 14 and under entry. We want to congratulate you for that, and we have an award that we'll make sure that we'll present to you as well. Again, this entry was titled Soren's Sugary Stronghold. They said that the inspiration was the Lord of the Rings theme, and they aimed for a castle with a Tower of Sauron with an eye included. They wanted to make sure to emphasize that, representing one turret. And so, again, they put some thought into that and were ranked very high for their creativity and their theme, and then using unique ingredients. So we want to make sure to congratulate the builders, Jojo, Frederick, Avner, Edith, Fabiana, Calico, and Avery. Way to go. Nice job. So that's it for this year. Those are our 4 award categories. We want to really thank you for tuning in. And we want to thank all those people who were a part of this year's contest, including our host sites, our builders, our sponsors, and the general community who came out to support and look at these entries. We'll be in touch with each category winner to make sure you receive your trophy. And we again want to thank our generous sponsors, especially our presenting sponsor, Advia Credit Union. And again, our supporting sponsors, WMUK, Temperature Pro, TraStar, and Helios Solar. We want to wish you and yours a very happy holiday season. Stay tuned in fall 2024 when we launch the 2024 contest and details about that. Wishing you a great holiday season, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.